After 17 long years, we've finally been able to solve one of the biggest Grand Theft Auto mysteries. And the answer actually comes to us from one of the original developers. We'll be talking about all of that in this video today and a whole lot more. So for this, we need to go back to March 2007. This is the first time that Rockstar revealed the first trailer for Grand Theft Auto 4. And in that trailer, there was a scene that prominently featured a boat docking at a ferry terminal. However, when the actual game launched a year later, the terminal was still there, but the ferries themselves were nowhere to be found. And since then, fans have wondered for years why they were cut from the final game. And now one of the game's original developers has revealed the answer. And this is Obi Vermeij, who worked at Rockstar on Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and GTA 4. And he's very active on social media, sort of talking about behind-the-scenes stuff and interesting details. And he was asked by a fan on social media, "Can you tell us what happened to the ferry boats? They were in the GTA 4 trailers, but not in the final game. Were they removed because of some performance issues?" And he said it wasn't really because of performance. It's more that they were causing other issues with physics, like cars sitting on a boat, as well as people queuing and getting on and off. They were more trouble than they were worth. So the bottom line right there is that honestly, it sounds like it was just more trouble for the developers than what they added from a gameplay or aesthetics point of view. And Grand Theft Auto 4 at the time was revolutionary from a graphics point of view, from a technical standpoint, so it's no surprising that there was a handful of issues with the various physics and other aspects on the game. So you can imagine the developer said, okay, forget the boats, we're not going to add this. Now, it does make you wonder if Rockstar had included these boats, would it have been used as the same Liberty City Stories ferry system, where you could actually ferry to another part of the island? It would cost a certain amount of money, you would buy a ticket, and then you would be teleported there. It was a pretty easy way to transport and navigate around the map. And like I said, the Liberty City Ferry Terminal first appeared in the Things Will Be Different teaser trailer that introduced the world to GTA 4, and it got a fair amount of notice as it was one of the few concrete things anybody had seen of the game. And so naturally, people were speculating, like I kind of did, would Rockstar use this as a transportation system and method to get around Liberty City? And it really does feel like Rockstar cut the plug on this at the last moment, because the terminal looks a bit broken down, but even in the final game, it still has pedestrians queuing all around and police standing guard here and there. And as it turns out, there are also other dock areas throughout the game where NPCs spawn in the same way, and a few likely indoor terminals with partially modeled interiors that are inaccessible in-game. And the game files also include an unused boat map icon, a very likely sign that these terminals were meant to play a larger part in the game. And now you might be asking, well, if they didn't play any part in getting us around the map, what did they actually do? Well, the Liberty Ferry Terminal had its first major role during a random encounter with serial killer Eddie Lowe, when Nico gives Eddie Lowe a lift to the ferry terminal to dump a duffel bag with a decapitated body of a jogger inside into the river.
Hey friend, this bag is awful heavy. You mind taking us down to the docks?
You got the ship to catch. You going somewhere?
I'm not going anywhere. My friends are, though. They're heading off.
That's a funny joke.
Joke? Joke? Eddie never jokes. Eddie needs to be taken seriously. They laughed at him once, but you can't laugh without a tongue. You can't point if you haven't got fingers, can you? That's what Daddy told me, late at night, in my room.
Easy there, buddy.
We're friends, aren't we? We can talk to one another, share things.
Spill your guts.
Ew. I don't like doing that. It's smelly. I'm kidding. Isn't the world strange and nasty? I mean, a girl looks at you, but it turns out she doesn't love you at all. It turns out she's a whore.
You're kind of a strange guy, Eddie. Have you ever considered psychotherapy? You've got issues.
My only issue is I don't accept the world's bullshit. Wait here for me, friend. Special friend? I'm just dropping the kids off.
And a Weasel News bulletin after this encounter also clearly identifies the location as the Liberty Ferry Terminal.
Weasel News.
Liberty City remains under siege as another body was found, this time at the Liberty Ferry Terminal in Alderney City. A decapitated jogger who was getting fit in the wrong place at the wrong time. Detective John Atkinson has been working the case.
Oh, thank God he did it again. I was beginning to lose my media profile. We'll be making an arrest soon. How's my hair look?
And in one of the drug war stashing missions, the stash was located inside of the terminal, which was presumably brought in by the sea. And there's also a few collectibles that you can find there, such as body armor and a Desert Eagle. So Rockstar still utilized the ferries in some way, shape, or form. They weren't given its major role, though, which I can only assume would have been transporting us around the map. However, one thing to consider is the Grand Theft Auto 4 map is relatively small. It's super dense, but relatively small, and that's actually the reason why Rockstar didn't have planes in the game. Many people believe it was because of certain events that had taken place in New York City, or Rockstar not wanting to have people replicate certain things, but it was actually just due to the fact that they only had one airport and one set of places to essentially land a plane, so that wouldn't make sense. And the map was so small, by the time you got up in the air, you'd already be on the other side. So that didn't make sense. So it kind of makes you wonder if the ferry terminals were also not included, because it would have taken more effort to go to the ferry terminal to get from one side of the map to the other than it would if you just went to the other side of the map. And we also know that in the very beginning of the game, certain parts of the map are blocked off. So there was probably just a lot of back and forth between if this is going to be useful and if this should actually be implemented in the game. But anyways, now we know what happened 17 years later to the unused and cut ferries and ferry terminals in Grand Theft Auto 4. If Rockstar ever decides to do a remake or a remaster or a definitive edition of Grand Theft Auto 4 for the modern day consoles and an updated version on PC, it'll be interesting to see if they re-implement that feature. Likely not, but we can always hope. Let me know what you think in those comments down below, though. Have you ever wondered about this? Let me know what you're thinking down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.